This week on TGC News, gutting P-Mags for 9mm carbines, the ideal Conceal struggle bus journey, and CZ leaks new P10's. Coltac is no longer just making suppressor wraps and pouches. They're jumping headfirst into the precision rifle game with products like the Cuddle Bag, the Boss Bag, the Ammo Book, and the Rifle Handle. You pick the colors, they build the gear. And because you're awesome and you watch TGC, they're doing a special discount code for you. TGC 10 will get 10% off your entire order over at coltac.com. Welcome back to another episode of TGC News, the only gun news show that covers things you actually care about. My name is Jon Patton. Last week, we absolutely crushed the comment challenge. Let's see if we can do it 2 weeks in a row. Leave a comment below, simply stating your favorite caliber to shoot, and I will randomly pick someone to win a TGC swag pack. Ready, go! Now, the news. First thing up this week, a product that falls well into the bounds of why did it take this long for someone to make this? Say hello to the Endo Mag from Mean Arms. Mean Arms is best known for their cali-compliant side-feeding loaders, and they've now expanded into the pistol caliber carbine game. The product is called the Endo Mag, and it is essentially an AR mag internals kit that allows you to turn your standard AR-15 into an AR-9 without having to use a magazine block or just get a new lower entirely. You just swap out the internals of your Gen 2 or Gen 3 P-Mag and you replace it with the Endo Mag. They've actually come up with a really neat follower that allows you to limit the amount of ammo for those compliant states. It's built in. It comes preset at its longest setting that allows only 10 rounds in the mag, but you can trim it down to one of the indicated lengths to allow up to 30 rounds of 9mm in the mag. They've demonstrated in the promo video that the magazine does handle some of the more problematic bullet shapes available in 9mm, of course. They also claim that this is a better idea than a PCC lower because of muscle memory and things like that, but I call BS because a mag change on an AR-9 is not significantly different than an AR-15. It's just not. Either way, I'm excited to see how this shakes up the pistol caliber market. You can essentially just grab a 9mm upper, slap it on your standard AR lower, and rock and roll. However, there are already tons of lowers that take Glock mags and M&P mags and other pistol magazines and mag blocks on the market as well, and lots of people already have Glock mags and M&P mags and things like that, so I don't know that it will completely take over the market, at least for a while. Another thing to consider is the fact that you can get a 30-round Glock mag for about $20 right now, and with the combination of the pre-order price for the Endo Mag being $25, plus the $10 to $15 you paid for your P-Mag, you're looking at $35 to $40, almost double the price just to keep that familiar shape and not have to get a new lower. So I have to ask, what do you guys think of this? Is it the product of the year, or is it just easier to get an AR-9 lower that takes a normal pistol magazine? Sound off in the comments below and let me know your thoughts. You guys hear that? It sounds like a sputtering bus engine that's kind of struggling. That's right, the struggle bus is back, and this time our rider is a company called Ideal Conceal and their cell phone pistol. This one has been a long time coming. I first found out about this double-barreled 380 folding pistol in early 2016. At the time, it was a fairly innovative idea. Having a gun that could fold up into the shape of a large smartphone and hold a couple rounds of 380 was pretty cool. However, the road to get the gun out has been a long one. This gun was essentially born out of smoke, mirrors, and a 3D rendering. That was the first thing we all saw. Let's go through a little timeline here. February of 2016, the world sees the rendering. Everyone gets excited, but the gun doesn't actually exist at that point outside of a computer. They claim they were going to have the gun ready for summer of 2016 and follow that with a semi-auto version in 2017 or 2018. Fast forward to May of 2016, and all that we had seen up to that point was a plastic model. Moving farther still, November 2016, wrapping up pre-orders, which had to be paid in full up front, except they opened another round of pre-orders immediately after closing that round, I suspect due to lack of funding. January 2017, still no release date. An update from the owner about how they found out that a bunch of their design won't work and that there are still 2 rounds of prototyping to do. March 2017, more than a year after the gun was announced. Still no real gun, estimating May or June to be in full production. May of 2017, a weird video showing printed out pictures of parts for the gun. They are well aware of the shortcomings and missteps at this point, having offered people their money back a couple different times if they're tired of waiting. A few days later, a crowdfunding campaign. Now they're really looking for a money injection. So not only did they suck dry all the pre-order customers, but they're now claiming that the company with no products and only 1,050 pre-orders is somehow worth $15 million and that you should invest in their company. Somehow they managed to raise almost $200,000. Good for them. Smoke and mirrors goes a long way to separate people from their money.
Secret to success is right here in our new little booklet, How to Make More Money Without Using Your Money.
Still no information about when the pistol would actually hit the market. December of 2017. Great news! We are finally going into production in January, but the gun isn't finished yet. What? February of 2018. We are going to start shipping soon. Still some kinks to work out though. March 2018. Yep, still not ready. April of 2018. We have the parts and we will be producing the first 250 guns soon. May of 2018. Still making changes to the gun. And that brings us up to now.
2.5 years later.
July of 2018. 2.5 years later. Finally shipping pre-orders. Now, I don't want you guys to think that I'm being extra harsh on Ideal Conceal, because honestly, this super long journey to bring a gun to market is not uncommon. It's just rarely done in the public eye like this, and rarely done with public money. But this is a prime example of why I tell you guys not to get involved with crowdfunding when it comes to companies that have zero track record of being in business. Let's hope that Ideal Conceal is able to step off the struggle bus and actually get all of the pre-orders shipped and maybe even get some dealers stocked up, because I don't know about you guys, but I'd actually like to shoot this thing. I'd never carry it, but I sure would like to shoot it. Oh, and because this is actually an important bit of information that didn't quite fit into the rest of the story, the gun was originally priced at $395 when it was first announced, and the current MSRP on the website is $575, securing its place in Not Gonna Buy That Land. Oh man, what a mess. This week, our good guy with a gun is again not a guy. We are transported to Milwaukee, Wisconsin on June 28th. We actually have video of this one. In the back of the George Webb restaurant, we can see 2 female workers who are quickly joined by what was later found out to be a regular customer of the restaurant and allegedly a drug dealer. He walks in and absolutely thumps the one waitress in the face. It was at that point that the second waitress reaches for her firearm and points it directly at the threat. This guy is clearly a man that has had a gun pointed at him before, because he really didn't seem shaken. He continued to shout and argue with the woman, but slowly backed out of the room. Now, we don't have a ton of footage to go on, but holy crap, did you see how hard that guy hit the woman? It was just, oh, bang! Ridiculous. Supposedly, this was all over the amount of time that his food was taking to come out of the kitchen. Yeah. Now, the question I have for you guys, should the gun-toting waitress have shot the attacker? Was she correct in not stopping the threat, or was her de-escalation the right call? Let's talk about it in the comments. Also recently new, CZ is expanding their P10 lineup with the addition of a couple new models. Just on the back of the release of the P10 COR at IWA in Europe a little while back, leaked photos of the P10F have surfaced, as well as a separate photo that shows another model, the P10S. The F is the full-size model, and I suspect the S is the subcompact. Mr. Guns and Gear unsurprisingly got the scoop on the full-size model, and it looks like you might expect, a bigger P10. I suspect that we may not know full details on this thing until SHOT Show next year, but in the meantime, get excited that CZ is not slowing down with new guns. Also, in new product news, we have some additions from Ruger. I talked about the 17 WISM Model 77 a few weeks back, and they announced a new color variation of that. Yay! They also announced a new laser-equipped version of the Security 9, as well as a compact 1911. Yeah, woo! They also did announce a new version of the 1022 Lite called the 1022 Target Lite, and that is exactly what it sounds like, a lightweight, tuned-up version of the 1022 Lite models that you already know. They feature a cold hammer forged barrel inside a lighter weight aluminum sleeve, as well as the BX25 trigger and a super fancy red laminate stock, all for an MSRP of $649.
Savoir Leather offers some of the finest handmade holsters crafted right here in the USA. Whether you carry inside or outside the waistband, whether you want an extra mag or maybe some extra flair, they have what you need. To get free shipping on your order, use the code TGC1 at savoirleather.com.
It's time for More Friendly Fire, the segment where I answer your questions from all over social media. This week, our questions are coming from YouTube. I posted asking for questions, and you guys did not disappoint. Evolution Glitch says, by the numbers, 4570 isn't all that special, but it launches heavy bullets with some significant inertia. Is 4570 still awesome? Yes. Yes, it is. Armed ASMR says, if you had family in an anti-gun state, would you disarm to go visit them? Two things. First, I plead the fifth, and second, I'm not telling you to break the law, but always carry a gun. Brendan Fernland says, if you could bring back any pistol or rifle from the dead, what would it be and why? Pistol would definitely be the LAR Grizzly in 50 AE, because I've always wanted one of those, and 50 AE, come on, hello, 50 AE. And rifles, perhaps the G11 from HK. That one is neat. And finally, Evan Essex says 6.5 Grendel for 0 to 300 yard rifle setup, ? That's a weird question, but sure. That's total overkill for 300 yards, but it will work. 300 yards is not difficult for most rifles these days. You could shoot 300 yards way cheaper with a good 5.56 rifle set up with match ammo. Yeah, you could do that. You don't need a 6.5 Grendel for that. My friendly fire question to you guys this week: how many of you have been to a pro-gun rally in the last 6 months? That will be interesting to find out. And hey, if you want your question answered right here on TGC News, send it to me over on theguncollective.com. And that is it for this week's show, guys. You know what to do. If you didn't like it, hit that button. If you did, hit like, get subscribed, and consider supporting us via the links in the video description. We have an Amazon affiliate store, as well as a link to purchase cool shirts just like this one. And as always, guys, thank you all for watching. We'll see you soon.
The shirts worn in today's video on The Gun Collective have been provided by Patriot Patch. Closed captions have also been brought to you by Patriot Patch Company. Be sure to click the link in the video description to check out all of their great products, including their cleaning mats.